Well, are you tracking any stories this morning as well, Ben?
Absolutely. At the top, we were talking about what's happening with critical race theory. And I certainly wanted to get you into this conversation, Georgia, because we've been covering it. We've seen this country shift from not even knowing, they still don't know what critical race theory is, but not even ever having heard the phrase, to all of a sudden critical race theory becoming the number one persona non grata, right? The public enemy number one. Well, this is a natural culmination of it. Dozens of books written by Black authors are being pulled from school libraries under the pretext that they are teaching critical race theory. But most of the books don't teach critical race theory at all. They are simply written by or about people of color, Black people. And so now with the legislation that's passing around the country, state by state, you have different states that are trying to make teaching critical race theory illegal, giving up Governor the doofus in Florida. Somebody help me out. What is the man's name? DeSantis. He has now given people the capacity to sue, to come in and investigate what teachers are teaching and what books are being taught. So this kind of thing is being taken across the country, where the community is being given authority to attack schools based on the fear that they're teaching critical race theory. And the result was now books are being pulled that are being written about or being written by Black people and people of color.
I was reading something that talked about the way in which the Civil War is taught in Southern classrooms and the way in which the Civil War is taught in Northern classrooms, and the context. And, there is a big difference in terms of perspective. In the South, you have teachers and curriculum, furthermore, that really drives home the point that these people were trying to protect their homeland, and in the North, there's more context about slavery, which is almost always usually missing in the curriculum in the South. And so this is this further conversation about the future generations having true and accurate depiction of what this country was, so they can understand what it is and have a better understanding of what they should make it, what it should become, what they should strive for, right?
That's right.
And it's this principle in our community that we value called Sankofa. You look back to move forward. And without having that historical context, we are positioning our country in a very dangerous position to not know how we got to where we are. But there are some people who want it just that way. And these, I think, are the descendants of those who erased our history, that taught us that we are kings and queens and that we were actually stolen from our homeland. Right? You're not really being taught that in school, right? And that is intentional because it devalues your own self-worth and identity. If all you're taught is that you are slaves, but there's no recollection of what you were before that, how does that impact your self-worth and your identity, right? And so the same descendants who tried to erase that part of our history is now doing the same thing for the next generation, but taking it to a whole nother level.
Yeah. Georgia, one of the things I got to try it. This might go a little bit too off the rails or off deep, but it was something in, I've been going through some physical therapy. And one of the things I realized in physical therapy is until you address the actual injury, you really didn't get to the trauma. Like I got really good at walking on a wound for a very long time. And I thought I was great. But once I started physical therapy and I opened up that they stretched me past that wound, I realized, wow, I still feel the exact same pain in my body that I felt when I injured myself 10 years ago.
Wow.
Until America addresses that original wound, we are never going to fix what's happening in this country. Now, here's the point. The point is, these people know that. The powerful know that. They know that if we as a country never address the wound and we just pretend like it doesn't happen, let's just limp along as a country. Let's pretend like racism, the slavery never happened. Let's pretend like Jim Crow that never happened. Let's just limp along, because they know if we ever really address it, if we ever get to the core of it and we really look at our history, that it's going to open up some pain that they would like to pretend is not there, but it's still there.